Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. My name is Bill Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of the Ohio Sales Tax Reform Incentive. And it's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon on a very, very important day. We've reached a major milestone in an effort to basically make Ohio more competitive, to put money back in taxpayers' pockets, to create jobs, spur economic growth here in Ohio, and I'm very, very pleased to be a part of that. Thank you very much, Representative Bacon. He's going to tell you a little bit about the legislation and some of its implications, and with that I'll turn it over to him. Sir?
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. We have a piece of legislation here that we think could be the start of putting Ohio's economic condition in a better place and changing the direction in which Ohio, changing how we handle taxation, hopefully lead to economic recovery here in Ohio. It's a sales tax holiday. It's just the start of what we think are bigger and better things. Currently, the statewide rate for sales tax is 5.5%. And what this bill would do would allow a sales tax holiday, meaning you wouldn't have to pay any state sales tax 6 days of the year. It'd be the first Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of August, and the first Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of December. Those time periods are, number one, will correlate with number one, back to school, and second, holidays. And the intent, we're trying to balance two things. Number one, give our taxpayers and our citizens of Ohio a little break at back to school time. We have some needy families that do need a little break. But also, we want to spur economic activity during both of those time periods. What we find is that when you do offer a little incentive, it does increase sales. The retail merchants will tell you that. Also, when you have more activity in the store, people will buy other items. A retail merchant will tell you that the more traffic they have in a store, that will in turn produce more sales. So we're talking about increasing the sales of the items that are listed in the sales tax holiday, and also the other items in the store. And what that would apply to would be clothing items up to $250, school supplies $150 cap, sports equipment $250 cap, computers $3,500, then also computer supplies and software another $3,500 to provide a little relief. When we started this project last year, I had a bill that was introduced. It was a shortened version of this bill. So we reintroduced it and expanded a little bit, but it's based on the work that took place in many other states. We have, year after year, more states enacting sales tax holidays because they work. And we even have in Alabama, the Alabama Retailers Association will tell you, that their sales tax collections in 2006 increased 10.6% over the previous year's sales tax collections in August of that year. Then the following August, increased another 4.6%. What that tells you is that this will actually promote economic activity. The sales tax collections will increase if it's done properly. We can actually create a situation where we give certain individuals a little relief, and we have additional sales. We have retail merchants who prosper at the same time. We have a lot of things going on in the state of Ohio economically. We don't have a great economic forecast now, and some of the other gimmicks that are being tried, whether it be gambling or other things to bolster our economy, that's not what this is about. This is a better way of dealing with the situation. It's about increasing our economic activity, increasing growth in Ohio, and this is just one small step of what we can do to continue that trend. We have to start somewhere. We have to get Ohio moving the other direction. That's what this is. This is one step back the other direction from where we're going now. That's going to take us up and help us even more. And then we're going to keep going. This is one first step. We get this passed, and we have other things that we can do in Ohio to even further our economic recovery. Eastern counties in Ohio. Pennsylvania doesn't have a sales tax, so we're losing revenue. Pennsylvania. We're at a competitive disadvantage in Ohio because of our tax structure. That's just one example. So in some situations, we're merely leveling the playing field. So whether it's keeping the revenue that we should have or increasing revenue, this is a positive thing for the citizens of Ohio. With us today, I see one more co-sponsor, Joe Eaker. Would you like to make any comments today? We have 11 co-sponsors on the bill. Mr. Eaker is one co-sponsor. I'll let him make a couple of comments, and then Bill Johnson and I will come back up to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Bacon. Joe Eaker from the 66 House District, which is Claremont County in southern Ohio. And I just wanted to make it a point to say that I was down on a family vacation in San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, just before their school season started. And I was there to witness their sales tax weekend. And you could not drive past a mall or a shopping center that wasn't packed. And the papers were all ablaze of what the economic viability that did for the state. So I think this is something that we could also bring to Ohio and enjoy similar economics that other states could have done enjoy as well.
That will be the result based on what's happened in other states. We believe it's economic stimulus. You do have to reduce the amount of revenue that the state of Ohio brings in order to create the incentive to bolster economic activity. So it's our position that the opposite will happen, that we need to try something different here in Ohio, and that by knocking down barriers, by reducing taxation, that's what brings the revenue back in the state, makes us competitive with those out of state, and will actually be, we believe, a net gain, as we saw in Alabama. Do you have anything
I don't have an exact figure for how much is being lost in Pennsylvania. I don't know if anyone's actually done a study of that. I can tell you that on any given weekend, if you go to the place that's just adjacent to where we live up in the Youngstown area, it's called Grove City, Pennsylvania. The parking lots are full of Ohio cars, not to mention the nation of Canada. I have been in Grove City when they come in by the busloads from Canada to do their shopping there because they have no sales tax on clothing. Think about what's going to happen when Ohio implements 2 sales tax holidays and the states of Michigan and Indiana and Kentucky and West Virginia and the nation of Canada to our north find out about it. Alabama had a similar situation Florida had a similar situation. They learned a tough lesson this year. Florida has a sundown clause on their sales tax holiday. They elected not to pursue it. The state of Georgia did. What happened? The whole north tier of Florida came flooding across the border into Georgia. You can read articles from retailers in Georgia that ran out of stock because they had sales coming in over the border from Florida. This is an increase in overall sales tax revenue, as Representative Bacon said. You have to look at the net. You can't just look at the exempted items and what that's going to take out of the sales tax proper, because that's not the way the economic formula works.
So in other words, the thought is that they go in and buy something that's exempted on the sales tax holiday, and they end up picking 2 or 3 things that are not exempted.
Exactly. And the way we put it, when you give people a tax incentive and an exemption on things that they have to have, and remember the items that Representative Bacon listed: school supplies, clothing, sporting goods equipment for their kids in school, and computers. Those aren't luxury items. Those are necessities in today's technologically innovative world. These parents have to have those things to send their children to school. So when they get tax exemptions on things that they have to have, they'll channel those savings to purchase things that they want to have.
That's what, just by reading the language of the bill, you have to breathe a little life into it by talking to the retailers, and that's what they'll tell you. You have more people, more traffic, more activity in the store, more people walking by more goods that will promote sales. While groceries don't apply, I would equate it to putting the milk in the back of the grocery store, because everyone comes for the essentials, but they want you to walk by who knows how many other items to get to the milk. Knowing that the more items you walk by, the more likely you are to buy something. That's similar concept applies here. It's to draw people into the store.
When you look at retail